Hello everyone. Question is a company has hired an external vendor to perform work in the company's AWS account. The vendor uses an automated tool that is hosted in an AWS account that the vendor owns. The vendor does not have IAM access to the company's AWS account. How should a solutions architect grant this access to the vendor? Option A. Create an IAM role in the company's account to delegate access to the vendor's IAM role. Attach the appropriate IAM policies to the role for the permissions that the vendor requires. Option B. Create an IAM user in the company's account with a password that meets the password complexity requirements. Attach the appropriate IAM policies to the user for the permissions that the vendor requires. Option C. Create an IAM group in the company's account. Add the tool's IAM user from the vendor account to the group. Attach the appropriate IAM policies to the group for the permissions that the vendor requires. Option D. Create a new identity provider by choosing AWS account as the provider type in the IAM console. Supply the vendor's AWS account ID and username. Attach the appropriate IAM policies to the new provider for the permissions that the vendor requires. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is a company recently migrated its web application to AWS by rehosting the application on Amazon EC2 instances in a single AWS region. The company wants to redesign its application architecture to be highly available and fault tolerant. Traffic must reach all running EC2 instances randomly. Which combination of steps should the company take to meet these requirements? Choose two options. Option A. Create an Amazon Route 53 failover routing policy. Option B. Create an Amazon Route 53 weighted routing policy. Option C. Create an Amazon Route 53 multi-value answer routing policy. Option D. Launch 3 EC2 instances, 2 instances in one availability zone and 1 instance in another availability zone. Option E. Launch 4 EC2 instances, 2 instances in one availability zone and 2 instances in another availability zone. Correct answer is option C and option E. Question is a company needs to retain its AWS CloudTrail logs for 3 years. The company is enforcing CloudTrail across a set of AWS accounts by using AWS organizations from the parent account. The CloudTrail target S3 bucket is configured with S3 versioning enabled. An S3 lifecycle policy is in place to delete current objects after 3 years. After the fourth year of use of the S3 bucket, the S3 bucket matrix shows that the number of objects has continued to rise. However, the number of new CloudTrail logs that are delivered to the S3 bucket has remained consistent. Which solution will delete objects that are older than 3 years in the most cost-effective manner? Option A. Configure the organization's centralized trail to expire objects after 3 years. Option B. Configure the S3 lifecycle policy to delete previous versions as well as current versions. Option C. Create an AWS Lambda function to enumerate and delete objects from Amazon S3 that are older than 3 years. Option D. Configure the parent account as the owner of all objects that are delivered to the S3 bucket. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe.